Hi guys, today is January 31st. Yesterday was my birthday. I turned 35. Now as of recording this video as of today, and I do plan on publishing this video tonight, there are only 5 days till I leave for Portugal to cross the Atlantic aboard the US Sail 42 named Fiona. I am very excited and also kind of nervous because this is going to be my first real passage. Yeah, nervous and excited, that's a very apt description of what I'm feeling right now. But in this video I want to show you some of the gear that I'm going to be bringing along with me. All of the stuff that I'm going to be bringing along with me will go in one of two bags. The load of crap you see there behind me, that's mostly clothing, and that'll go in this duffel bag from North Face. I also have a lot of electronics with me, including the camera gear, and that's going to go in this Protactic 450 backpack. Let's start by taking a look at this pile of stuff, the stuff that's going to go in the duffel bag. These contain all kinds of drugs and some first aid stuff. Everything you'd need from over-the-counter painkillers to oxycodone to sunscreen to... yeah, let's take a closer look. This is the contents of those two bags. Here we have something against seasickness. Now, I've only ever really been seasick 2 times in my life, so I don't think I'm gonna get seasick, but I'd rather have these and not need them than need them and not have them, and that's sort of the common theme for all of this stuff. So these were against seasickness, and I've actually been wearing one of these patches for the past 24 hours just to make sure that I don't have any odd side effects to them. This is for asthma. These are the multivitamins I got from my parents at Christmas. This is for diarrhea, allergies, all the painkillers from over-the-counter stuff to the stuff you need a prescription to get. These are laxatives. These are in case you're dehydrated and need to replenish. This is sunscreen, and these are for a sore throat. And this little guy is actually really cool. In case you have a cavity that starts acting up in your teeth, or you crack a tooth or something like that, this is some kind of putty that you can shove in there, and it's a temporary filling. This is the little patch I mentioned for seasickness. Let's go ahead and start throwing some stuff into the duffel bag. All of my clothing will go inside one of these resealable bags here, just to make sure that it's completely dry at all times. 10 pairs of underwear, 8 pairs of socks, 10 pairs of Sail Life t-shirts, my much beloved hat, 1 silk sleeping bag liner to sleep in, and 1 cotton sleeping bag liner also to sleep in, a bunch of Sail Life business cards, 2 pairs of shorts, thermal underwear, a pair of light shoes for when we hit the trade winds, a towel, a buff. I think most of you guys know this ridiculous piece of clothing, but it's quite flexible, so that's why I'm bringing one. Oh, and this is a special treat. I'm sure Alfie can remember these from last summer. These are salty licorice, and this is one of the things that I miss the most whenever I go traveling, so I'm bringing along 4 bags. Shampoo, Lifeline, my PFD, but I still need to figure out what to do about the cartridge for when I'm flying. I don't know if I need to purchase a cartridge down there and then just transport this without the cartridge attached, but I'll figure that out. Normally I wear contacts, but just to be on the safe side, I'm also going to be bringing along my glasses, and this is the case for my glasses. When I found this case, I also found this coin that I've been looking for a while. I got this after having seen one like it aboard SV Corsair, and it's a silver coin. I thought it might be kind of cool to have one of these to place underneath the mast aboard my next boat. Of course, this doesn't need to go. I made this myself. This is going to be my toiletry bag. So this contains my hair trimmers, some shaving cream, toothpaste, and yeah, stuff like that. And this is actually one of the old sails from Obelix. And of course I'm going to be bringing along my Sail Life knife too. Now, as soon as we make it far enough south, the weather is going to get nice and warm, hopefully. But until then, I still need to be able to keep dry and warm, and that's why I'm bringing along my foul weather gear. Now, originally I had just planned on bringing along some light rain gear, But it turns out that my rain gear has got quite an annoying leak in the jacket. So yeah, I'm bringing along my real foul weather gear instead. The key to staying warm is layers, of course, and underneath my foul weather jacket I have this blue jacket. And the remarkable thing about this blue jacket is that it keeps apparently 96% of its insulative capabilities even though it's wet. And there's actually an added bonus to this little jacket because it's very light and it takes up hardly any space. And you can actually fold this into its own pocket and carry it that way. Like this. For keeping my feet warm and dry, I'll be depending on these Duberry leather boots, and these things are freaking awesome. I've crammed all of the stuff I showed you into the duffel bag, and there are still a few more shirts I want to bring along. I'm doing a load of laundry right now, so you can see space is starting to be at a bit of a premium. That was most of the stuff that's going to go in the duffel bag. So next up, I want to show you what I'll be carrying in this backpack. And like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, this is the ProTactic 450. And if we just unzip this here, you can see that this is a full-blown camera bag. Now I will be carrying my camera gear in this, but I'll also be carrying a load of other electronics. But let's take a closer look. So these are most of the electronics I'm gonna be bringing along with me. But let's start by getting one of the bigger ones out of the way, and that is of course my Macbook. So this stores right here. Like I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, I'm going to be bringing along 8 terabytes of storage, and the hard drives are kept in these Pelican cases just to make sure that they don't get any kind of salt water on them. I have 2 of these little pouches here. This one is empty, but I'll find something to put in there. And this contains all kinds of adapters and leads and yeah, converters and different things I need. I'm also going to be bringing along 6 of these 64GB SD cards. Now you might be wondering why on earth I'd bring along 6 of these, but that's just to have an added bit of flexibility. So if I, for some reason, don't want to bother with transferring data from an SD card over to the hard drives, I can simply just pop in another SD card. Speaking of transferring files, now in case my laptop dies on me and I've filled up those 6 SD cards I have and I need to transfer some files, this will help me do that. You pop in an SD card and one of those portable hard drives, then you use your iPad or your iPhone to select the files you want to transfer, and yeah, then this little guy transfers the files from the SD card to the portable hard drive. And this has even got a built-in battery, so it'll last for I think 13 hours or something like that before it needs a recharge. I'm also going to be bringing this along. This is a power bank, and this holds somewhere around 22,000 milliamp hours. And from this I can charge anything with a USB lead. So that would be my iPhone, my iPad, my InReach, or even the camera batteries. So this is just a bit of added security in case we have some electrical issues aboard Fiona. In case those electrical issues turn out to be permanent, I'm also bringing along a foldable solar panel. So this will allow me to charge up that power bank even if we have absolutely no power aboard Fiona. On my iPad I have enough audiobooks to keep myself entertained for 27 days non-stop, but I hope I won't need any of those. Of course I'll bring along the book for my ham radio license also. Here I have a pair of headphones I use whenever I'm editing video. Here I have a lavalier mic and an external audio recorder. Of course I'm also going to be bringing along my GoPro, my trusty old GoPro. And an LCD backpack for the GoPro so that you can actually see what you're filming. These are my in-ear headphones. Now in case I ever need a bit of privacy, these will come in real handy. And then of course there is the InReach. Now I've told you guys about this on numerous occasions, so I'm not gonna spend any time on this now. I'm also gonna be bringing along a watch. This is the Sunto Core All Black. A pair of sunglasses. And a pole for my GoPro. And then I have a bunch of these resealable bags, and of course I'm going to bring those along in case I want to protect my electronics a little bit better. The camera I'm using for shooting this video will sit right here, and of course that's the Panasonic GH4. If I ever need to access the camera in a hurry, I can do that through this opening right here. I'm sure there are some items that I've forgotten to mention so far in this video, but while I'm trying to remember those items, I want to show you something else. As you can probably see behind me, all the ice here in the marina has melted, and that's a good thing, because if I can convince the mechanic to swing by the boat within the next 4 days, I could still get the engine back aboard the boat before leaving to cross the Atlantic, and that would be awesome. Meanwhile, I am facing a new challenge, and that's an elevated water level. Well, I only managed to think of one thing I forgot to mention so far, and that's this little headlamp from Lead Lenter, and this thing is pretty awesome, so yeah, I'm bringing this with me. Now in all likelihood, this video is going to be the last video I actually get to publish before leaving to Portugal, so if you don't mind, please cross your fingers that I'll have a safe trip to Portugal on Friday. Now I hope I'll be able to publish a video before we leave Portugal, but I have no idea of whether or not that's going to be possible, so it might be a while until you see a new video, maybe up to 2 months. That is certainly odd, because in a year and a half of doing these videos, I don't think I've ever skipped a week yet, so yeah. But like I said, I am really excited and also increasingly nervous, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Other than that, guys, that's gonna be it for this video. See you! Yukul and I hope you've enjoyed this video. For more videos like it, click subscribe. Please consider leaving a comment and a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot, and I appreciate your support very much. If you're new to the channel, please check out the introduction playlist. If you want to watch every single video I've ever published, check out the playlist named All Videos. It contains every single video listed in chronological order.